Alright, so for my next project I want to do another smaller rubber job, okay? I just finished the Island Flyer here. It's only 22 inches and this was a lot of fun. Came out pretty light too. And you know, using Mylar for the covering, for the flying surfaces worked great, alright? So I, kind of want to do an old timer because I have a soft spot for old timers. And I wanted to do something a little bit different. So here's basically what I found. I was looking at Penn Valley Hobby. They have some of those old companies. And I found this. It's called the Raven, and I've never seen or heard of this before. I even did a search online in the hip pocket and I can't find any info on it. Really like the way it looks, and it's really kind of unusual in a couple different ways here. Let me show you the plan. Okay, first of all, it's got a diamond fuselage, and I've never built one this small or even seen one this small. Many years ago when I was a kid, I built the Contestant, which is a 36-inch job with a diamond fuselage. And in fact, that was the first plane I ever had over 10 minutes, and I even had 20 minutes. In fact, one my uncle built, I actually had a 90-minute flight with it. You can tell I wasn't using the dethermalizer, and I actually got it back too. So I really like the diamond fuselage. I think that's really nice. It's unusual. Now this also had a high pylon, that's kind of different. And it also has swept back wingtips. Alright, so I think it's a really nice looking and unusual design. I think this will make a good project. Okay, now the only thing I'm going to possibly change is the landing gear. I usually make it plug in to the bottom. That might be a problem here. I have had some ideas of how to do it, but I might not make it removable. Let's see if it gets to be a hassle. The other thing is they show a 6-inch prop, and I think this could really handle a 7-inch. So I'm going to use a 7-inch gizmo geezer. And I'll lengthen the landing gear just very slightly, okay, so to make sure the prop clears the ground. All right, doesn't come with much. Here's the pylon ready to go, and here's all the print wood. So what I'm going to do is cut off the ribs, and then I'm going to sand that a little thinner because this wood's kind of hard, and that'll save a little weight. And as I point out on the Island Flyer video, I like to sand the print off and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to get to work on it. You know, the part I love about this plan the most is it says, send for big bargain catalog, 5 cents. Boy, I wish I could. And it's Scientific Model Airplane Company over in Newark, New Jersey, right over the river there. Okay, and it's dated 1940. So this looks like a lot of fun. We're going to get going on it. Alright, so we made the fuselage halves. I've got them here in the Bob Holman jig. You know, this has really got to be square, so I think the jig will be good for this. So we're going to take it off and see how it came out. Alright, we got it off the jig. Came out nice and square. That's important, so you get a nice diamond shape. Okay, we got a 7-inch gizmo geezer on there. That's what I'm going to use. I put a little sheeting in the nose because I like to do that just to reinforce it a little bit. The landing gear I'm not going to make removable, so what I did is I just glued it on, bound it with a little bit of Kevlar. I think that should be strong enough. This is where the pylon mounts. I put a little extra reinforcement there just to make sure. I put the sub fin on. You know, I was a little worried about that because these sub fins take a beating, but this is pretty light, so hopefully it'll be okay. And I'm going to cover this with Polyspan Light, including the sub fin because I want that to be strong. Alright, so we're just about ready to go on that. Okay, I got the stab done, which is right there. Got the wing done. Now here's the only changes I made on the wing is I put on the bottom so I can mount it. It's going to be a removable wing. And also on the top I put a little bit of 30-second sheeting there and on the bottom so that the rubber band doesn't dig in. You know, it can dent the Mylar a little bit sometimes. Okay, I got the wheels here pretty much ready to go. I just got to dope them. Now here's how I did the mount. Alright, so this has got a hardwood dowel. You can see I sunk it in there a little bit. Then I put in the 30-second ply, and as I've mentioned before, I like to put in a little 30-second sheet as padding. You know, that way the wing doesn't rock at all. It holds it nice and stable. Also got a little slot in the bottom there, a little square piece so I can mount it right on there. I'm going to use 5-minute epoxy for that. Now I was debating a little bit how to do the rudder, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one fixed piece there. You can see it. I used a little bit of Mylar hinges. Okay, I still got to put the push rod on there, I mean the mount for the push rod, and then we're just going to glue this on after we get the stab in place. Okay, so this part of the rudder and the stab and the wing is just going to all be Mylar. Alright, so I'm pretty much ready to cover, and we're going to do that and see how that goes. Alright, the Raven. So we got it covered and painted, okay? Now I used the Design Master Floral paint as I had before. In this case it was called Bright Blue, and the wing was just yellow. I really like the colors this time. They're really vibrant. I thought they came out really nice. Alright, the total weight is pretty good. It was 25.5 grams, so that's without the equipment, so that's pretty nice. Now you can see I made a notch in the back of the pylon. I'm going to glue in the servo. The equipment I think I'm just going to glue onto the side. I'll show you that when I get it done. Alright, so we're going to get the equipment in, and then we'll be ready to fly. Okay, the Raven got the equipment in. Now the total weight with the equipment was 31.2 grams. So that's pretty good. The equipment only added 5.7 grams. Alright. Now you can see I have the Kevlar pull there. Okay. The servo I kind of form fitted into the back of the pylon, and then I used some 5-minute epoxy. I think that's more than strong enough. Okay. The battery right now is just being held on with a rubber band. I could always tack glue it on if I have to, but I think it's going to be okay. There's a 7-inch gizmo. The orange 415 receiver, it's on the other side there. Okay. That I put a little blob of 5-minute epoxy on to hold it onto the pylon, and the rubber band holds it on as well. Alright, so it'll be easy to peel it off later on if I have to. Okay. I really like the way the colors came out this time. Nice and vibrant. Really like that yellow. So I'm happy about that. Okay. Now let me show you the rudder here. I've got the transmitter on. Alright. And there we go. Okay. So I thought that worked really well. Alright. It's got nice smooth action. And it's got plenty of throw. Alright. Not going to be any problem. And you know, I was a little worried that there was some resistance from the Mylar hinge that I use. But it didn't. It's not a problem at all. So the servo can more than deal with that. Alright. Now the other nice part of this is it does work with one of my coupe half tubes. You can see I have a gizmo on one end here, a little holder I made. Okay, and you know, and a hook on the other end. So I can wind outside the plane and then just insert the motor. Alright, and we'll be ready to go. That way I don't have to worry about blowing it up, or you know, even with the blast tube sometimes you have problems. So I like winding it outside the plane. So it was a really enjoyable build. Really had a good time. It was a lot of fun. I think it's a great kit. Now my only concern is that, you know, if it hits something, I hope the pylon doesn't get knocked off, but we'll see. The wing will pop off right away, but hopefully the pylon will be okay. Alright, so we're going to get out, get flying. 250 hand winds. Ah.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's better.
That's cool.
Not bad.
That was cool, right?
That was not bad. That looks good. All right, a little over 300 hand winds. There's no RC. Nice. Come on, stay in the field. Uh-oh. Okay, come on. Beautiful.